Running emulators on the Steam machine is possibly the best experience when it comes to playing a lot of your classic games on this machine, because not only is this like a workhorse, but since it's just made to be a gaming console, technically, it just sits there. You'll never have the risk of accidentally mixing your data or accidentally corrupting something on the Steam machine like you would on a PC. In this video, let me go ahead and show you how easy it is to install emulators on this Steam machine. And if you've done the process already on the Steam Deck, it's very similar to that. But one thing I do recommend is at least having a wireless mouse, because it makes the entire installation process really easy. Keyboard is optional. And since many of you guys were asking me on my previous video how I was able to plug it into my iPad, I'll also show you how to do that. And yes, timestamps, all the subjects we'll be covering in today's video will be in the description down below. Let's begin. So when it comes to messing with ROMs, legally, I have to say, make sure you do all this legally. Extract ROMs from existing disks. It's very easy to do. There's adapters you can do with the Game Boy Advance. So if you physically own the game, then you could export the ROM and save it to an SD card. So assuming you already organized your ROMs and everything else, this is what you need to do next. So on our Steam machine, you need to select the main menu page right here, go into Power, and from here, you're going to switch to desktop, as you will be required to go to desktop mode to download the emulator. Now, the cool thing about these latest emulators are available online. Basically, it does all the complex stuff for you on your behalf. So once you get to this page, exit out of here. If there's any pop-ups and stuff, go in Firefox or any web browser you have installed. Allow it to load. And then just go ahead and I guess I have to install it again. Give me a second. There we go. Launch it. And now for this next part, you will require to plug in some type of controller. Makes your life so much easier. There's shortcuts you can do with the wireless controller as well. Press X and RT, I believe that's one of them. Just Google search the remote for you, depending on the remote you're using. But once you have the keyboard plug in, you want to type in EmuDeck. Right here, click on the first one. The logo looks like this. Click on the website. You're allow or deny. I really don't care. But what you want to go ahead and do is select download. It's going to bring you all the way down to the very bottom. Select the operating system you are on. So we are using SteamOS. So double click on SteamOS. Just download the free version. The Patreon version just gives you access to like cloud saving and stuff like that. What we just want an emulator on our device, so we just want to hit download for free. And once it's completed, simply open that file. You can now close the web browser if you like. And just double click on this. And just click launch. And hit continue, because this will install on your Steam machine. Let it do its thing. It takes like a minute or so. It's going to bring you up to this page. As soon as you see this page, you're doing it right. It's basically doing all the hard work, all the download and stuff in the background, all on your behalf, all automatically. That's why I mean it's so easy now to install emulators on your machine now. Now, real quick, folks, if you've been enjoying this video so far, like to support the channel, if you could kindly take 2 seconds and hit that like button, that really does help out the channel, as that allows the channel to be powered by you guys, the viewers, which is why you don't see third-party brands for like sponsorship segments taking like a minute or two off your time. Thanks to you guys, we don't have to rely on sponsorships or brands, all because you guys support the channel by just hitting the like button. It really does help out a lot and makes everybody's viewing experience pleasant. So thank you so much for those that took the time on doing that. Let's carry on. But once you're at this part, do not select easy. Even though it says easy, it's not easy. It's actually quite challenging and buggy sometimes. So select custom mode and hit next. Now for this part, this is where you can decide on using a SD card on your Steam machine or internal storage. Personally, external storage is what I recommend. Prevents bugs from happening, glitches or corruptions from corrupting your data and stuff. Internal, it'll stay there. Plus, these ROMs don't really take up that much space compared to modern day games. So select next. Now, unfortunately, this is still early on. Just select Steam Deck. It will work the same way. Doesn't cause any problems whatsoever. Maybe in the near future, they'll update to the Steam machine if you're watching this at a later time. Now, low or highest. I suggest doing highest. What this allows you to do is basically it will integrate everything in your Steam game library. If you select low, it will all be located in an app. So for convenience, I do recommend high, as it is very nicely organized, as you're going to go ahead and see. So just select hiatus to keep things simple. And then this is where you can select between the emulators you want. I'm just going to leave it default. Even though it looks like Game Boy Advance is not going to be installed, it will be. So just select next and next one more time. And these are the cool setting configurations you could do. I do recommend autosaving. This way you don't forget to autosave or manually save in your game and lose everything. It'll just resume. It's a nice little feature and it actually does work. And then for this retro achievements, if you create an account with this brand, EmuDeck, they'll give you achievements on some classic games. Personally, I don't like achievements, especially since it wasn't original to the game itself, so I would just hit skip. But if you like to, you could just follow the URL right here, create an account, log in, and you will have achievements if you like that. Skip for me. Now for this part, this is all customizable. You're able to go back and reverse back to some of these if you decide you don't like that. So for some games like these old school Game Boy Advance or Game Boy Color games, they have like borders on the side. You could leave it on or keep it black. I like to keep it on. It actually doesn't look bad. Same goes for other formats too, for other classic games. Like this one, you could do full screen or 4:3. Sometimes it's best just to leave it as is, like they were originally made to be played, because it prevents bugs from happening. So I'm just going to keep everything default, but I'll go ahead and show you how to go back if you like to play with the settings later on once you configure it. Now for this part, you keep it traditional to the controller layout, how it was when the game was designed, or you could create it so AA actually is A instead of Nintendo like to do A and B. I like to leave it default, just how I grew up with. So hit next, and this part just hit next again. And then now it's installing all these emulations automatically on your Steam machine. So just give it a minute or so, maybe 5 minutes or 10 minutes at most. But as soon as it's done, I'm going to go ahead and show you how you can install the ROMs now. Now, once you're done, just hit next. At this part, do not select automatically import. Most of the time it gets it all wrong. It just screws up everything. Just do manual copy, as it's really easy to do. So once you select manual copy, go ahead and click on activate emulation folder. I need better glasses. This pop-up will come up, right? All right, so the breakdown, your BIOS. If you have BIOS, like for PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, Xbox, you can just click and drag it in here. You do not need to click and drag it in any of these files. All right. Now, if you go back, next to that will be your ROMs folders. This is where you can select between all the folders that you see here. But if you have like Game Boy Advance, you'll be clicking and dragging your ROMs in here. If you have Game Boy Colors, you'll be clicking and dragging them right there. So they're all spelled differently. I know it gives you a bunch of them. I guess it covers every single emulation possible. You can even find PSP here as well. So if you have the ROMs, just dump them in here, and that's pretty much it. So to give you an example how I would do this, take the SD card. It could also be a flash drive or an external HHD or HDD or an SSD, any storage device. Literally plug it into a hub if you need it, or a flash drive, and just plug it into the appropriate USB-A or USB-C port, or if you're using a micro SD card, you can insert it as well. But as soon as you do that, a pop-up on the bottom over here should pop up, letting your system know that you inserted something. There we go. So now it pops up. It's not going to show up at first because you need to manually select on mount and open. And then that SD card you inserted will pop up. So depending how you have your ROM folder organized, I just organize it by ROM, right? You just click on it, and these are the games I have. So I'm just going to do my N64 games. So in the ROM tab, in the ROM folder, I mean, on the system itself, let's look for N64. Here it is, N64. Double click on that, leave these two alone, and then go into your folder, select N64, highlight all of these, and then just hit copy, or just highlight the ones you want to actually transfer over. You can either click and drag it. It's easier if you just copy and paste, and just hit paste. You see your status underneath right there of all the games that's being imported. Okay, you're good. And then on your internal device folders, you can go back and carry on with the other games you may want to import. So I'm just going to do a Game Boy Advance just to give you guys another example. Game Boy Advance, and then now I'm going to go on my hard drive and go back into my Game Boy Advance games. Here it is. And we're just going to highlight all of these. Right click to copy. And go ahead and paste it in here. Let it do its thing. And then you should get the example by now. So from here, you can continue dropping more and more of your ROMs, as well as your BIOS. But once you do that, you can just exit out of here, exit this, close this, hit next, and then go ahead and hit launch Steam ROM Manager, and then finish. Now, this is the main page. Well, let's let this load real quick. Actually, on second thought, let me put this aside real quick, because I feel like this is important. So if you feel like you need to add more ROMs, just open up EmuDeck, right? This pop-up window will pop up. When this pops up, you go down and where it says import game ROMs. This is where you can select the same menu you've seen in the past and just select manual copy, and that little folder locator will pop up and you can begin clicking and dragging again if you like to add more. Same goes for BIOS. But now if you like to adjust those emulator settings, if you go on the quick settings, this is where you go back and make those readjustments if you want to include borders or make certain games widescreen if it allows you, like this one 16:9 for GameCube games and such. So you can always go back and change those settings. But while we're here, something that's not installed by default is EmuDeck. I recommend enabling this because this will give you tools for your EmuDeck when you're on the game mode on your Steam machine. Because right now we're on Steam desktop. Installing EmuDeck, this will give you some of those tools available even on the game side of your operating system on the Steam game mode right here. So not sure why it's not installed by default, but definitely recommend installing this before you proceed. And then if you like to add more emulators, you can always select manage emulators and just select the ones you saw earlier. But trust me, you really don't need them unless you're planning on installing like Switch games, which I don't know how you can do that yet. I know there is a way, but yeah. Anyways, when you're done with that, you can then go back to this pop-up menu. From here, just hit next. And then everything seems correct. Just leave as is. But if you're installing PS3 games and it's grayed out, select it and it should resolve that problem. From here, to select add games and then hit praise. It's going to scan those ROMs you installed and we'll try to correlate them with the image of the title. You can update the game image by hitting update and a little pop-up will come up with the image. Honestly, for my first-hand experience, it's buggy. It just makes things worse. I'll just leave as is. If you don't like seeing those blank squares and it's really a game you don't like playing, you can just remove it from here as well. Just select it and then remove. But once you do that, if you scroll down, you'll see your game titles are right there. You do have the little arrow if you want to change between different cover arts for those type of games. But to the most part, that's basically the quick rundown on how to do it. Now, once you're satisfied with the cover art and such, just hit save to Steam and a little download progress will pop up right here. And once you do that, you can now exit everything, including this, exit this, and then return back to game mode. And then now you can just take your paired controller, turn it on, make sure it communicates with your Steam machine. And now you can just go into your game library and you'll find it all the way to collections. In the collections, this is where you'll run all your emulators in general if you're having a hard time seeing what kind of emulators you have installed. But in our case, we installed Game Boy N64 games and then Game Boy Advance games, And then we see them both right here, and here's your library. And then now you can just select whichever game you want to play. So Super Mario 64, hit play, local storage, continue. It may take a while to load the first one, so it's okay to abort and start again or restart the machine. There we go. So it did take like a minute or so for it to load, but as you see, we are playing Super Mario 64. And the control layout, even with an Xbox 360 controller, is very easy to use. Now, unfortunately, this is a non-skippable cutscene. I just remembered that drawback about this game. But to exit, you can just hit the X button on your Xbox controller or PlayStation button and just hit end game. And then from there, you're back into your game library. You can see what other games you want to play. And then for N64 games, Game Boy Advance games, here you are. And then if you add more emulators, you'll see it right there for like your PlayStation 1, 2, and 3, N60, GameCube, and such like that. So that's how easy it is to run emulators. And from my experience with the Steam Deck and also the Steam Machine, this thing's a powerhouse. It could easily run emulators. Now, for those wondering how I was able to use my iPad Pro as a monitor for my Steam Deck, I do use a mobile desktop instead of bringing like a portable monitor. I like the resolution of an iPad a lot versus those portable monitors. And since I already own an iPad, to me it makes more sense carrying around an iPad for a portable monitor than it is carrying a portable monitor with lower resolution for about the same price. The way I do this, I run this third-party app. It's called ROM. It's free to download. And it works on any iPad as long as it has a USB-C port. You typically would just hook it up to this USB-C capture card that converts to an output HDMI, and you literally just plug it into the existing port. That's how I'm able to do this setup for those wondering. And I'll have this link in the description down below. It works on the iPad mini. As long as it's a USB-C port iPad, this little adapter and that third-party app will work. So I'll have those in the description for you guys as well. Other than that, there you guys have it. Hopefully you guys found this video informative and useful. If you'd like me to make a more in-depth video tutorial on how to install like GameCube emulators, PlayStation 1 emulators, possibly the Xbox 360, if this video gets over 5,000 likes, I'll go ahead and do that because it requires some additional hardware for the Xbox side and such. But if you physically own the product, I'll make a tutorial on how you can rip it and make it into a ROM and then install on the Steam machine. Again, 5,000 likes. Let me know truly if you guys are really interested for this video. Anyways, other than that, there you guys have it. If you'd like to watch my tips and tricks video of all the cool things you could do on the Steam Deck, especially if you're a first-time user to the Steam Machine in general. I know I said Steam Deck. It also applies on the Steam Deck too. But in the Steam Machine in general, I cover that in greater detail in this video over there, where I go through those essential settings I recommend adjusting, especially if you just picked up this machine. Other than that, thank you so much for watching.